What's going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game live here on Dime Dropper for the 2024-25 NBA season. We are live from Los Angeles. As always, super chats are turned on. If you want to drop $1 or a dime, any donation is appreciated. Dime Dropper is your home for all things LA basketball and LA sports, and of course, some NBA. Well, not some NBA, all NBA. When it gets to big points of the season, tonight we're going to be talking about the Clippers and the Lakers' most recent games. Lakers with a big game on Saturday against the Nuggets that has had a lot of people talking. And then the Clippers with 3 straight losses. I did talk about the Milwaukee game. You can check out my thoughts on the last live. We're back on podcast format as well. And, of course, Locked On Clippers, I do 5 days a week. But tonight we're going to be really focusing on the Detroit game tonight, the Indiana game yesterday, and then the Laker game. If you're here just for the Lakers, it will be timestamped for you in the pinned comment and in the description. So throw some comments in the chat, Clipper Nation, Laker fans. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Any donation is appreciated for your boy. So let's get right into it. I'm trying to do a slightly new way of formatting my lives. And I usually just kind of give my quarter-to-quarter breakdown summary of the game. But from now on, I'm starting with my immediate, just like knee-jerk reaction thoughts, my first takeaways, and then we're going to go into the quarter-by-quarter breakdown. So we were playing the Pistons on a second night of a back-to-back. Now, the Pistons are actually finally, after years of being in the cellar, showing some signs of life. And it starts with the all-star performance this entire season of Cade Cunningham, the first overall pick in the 2021 draft. Now, I am going to get into the specifics with Cade in a second, but let's talk about the Clippers first. No Norman Powell and no Kawhi in both of these games. Now, with Norm, I was very critical of the fact that he showed up to the three-point shootout and he's not healthy yet. I know it's different, but he shouldn't have even gone to San Francisco. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. They upgraded the injury from knee soreness to left patella tendinopathy, which doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound great at all. I'm hoping, that sounds like it's a lingering thing, and who knows what it's going to feel like, as the weeks go by or as the days go by. If we don't have Norm, we're pretty screwed. Then the Kawhi situation, now they're saying it's a foot injury. It's not even the knee anymore. So did he aggravate his foot against the Milwaukee Bucks? Point being that if we have a new Kawhi injury to worry about, I don't even know what to say. And credit to the guys. I'll get more into the specifics of the game tonight, but they had a better response to yesterday. Yesterday, I don't know what they were doing on Saturday night. Is there nightlife in Indiana on Saturday nights? Let me know if you live there. But what the fuck was that on Saturday? They didn't even try. Well, okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I thought our defensive effort was not good enough, especially Derek Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn. Those are our guys. And Zubats was struggling because teams have found out that they can try to expose Zoo to a degree with pick and pop centers and 5-out kind of lineups. And we didn't really make an adjustment in that Indiana game. We didn't do anything to prevent Miles Turner from getting those pick and pop threes. And when Zubats is not affecting the game defensively, and Derek Jones is not having a great defensive game, and Chris Dunn is having his worst defensive game that I can remember this season, then yeah, we're going to have a tough time, especially when Indiana is playing really good basketball. And I don't know, they might just be a bad matchup for us. But what I didn't like was our pride defensively was not there. Our pride on the glass was not there on Sunday. On Monday, totally different. But see, the problem is you have already dogged it on the first night of a back-to-back. You've already not given the effort that I know we're capable of bringing. There is a level of, of course it looks like better effort because Indiana is a much better offensive team than Detroit. So when you play Detroit, you're going to look like you're having more intensity. But no, that effort tonight was a response from a loss. It was. There was a real physicality there. I was watching the game on the Pistons broadcast because I think my dad, what he did was he took away our cable, some of the channels that include Spectrum Sportsnet and FanDuel Sports Network West. And so now, because we obviously the house, so I don't have the ability to watch replays on FanDuel Sports Network or games live on FanDuel Sports Network. And what was I going to say? I can't watch the games live. I can't watch the games on fucking replay. So I got to watch it on like Stream East or whatever. So I'm watching the Pistons broadcast with the legendary George Blaha and Greg Kelser, who was on that Michigan State team with Magic back in the day. And they were literally like deriding us like crazy. I was like so happy about it. They were like the Clippers defense. You can see why they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. They're so physical. You know, they really get after it. They're handsy. So this game was a fun slugfest, really physical. Cade Cunningham, though, was just, I mean, he's low-key my favorite player. Let's see. How old is SGA? I think he's a little older than me, like a couple months. Let's check. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was born, okay, he's a little less than a month older than me. So this guy, low-key, is my favorite player that's younger than me. Cade. I really mess with him. Like, he's got a mid-range. He posts up smaller guards. He literally had Chris Dunn in the post and tried to shoot a jump hook over him today. I was like, yo, this guy is different. Like, and he's very composed and he makes all the right reads. He can shoot the three. He's got a handle. This is my type of player right here. I just hope he stays healthy because the Pistons being good is just part of the NBA story. They've been bad for too long. When I grew up, the Pistons were feared. You know what I'm saying? The Detroit Pistons are one of the greatest organizations in the history of basketball. And it's funny because there's a lot of kids that are like a little younger than me that don't even know about that. They've never experienced such a franchise. But the Detroit Pistons are, you know, really, really on the come up, I hope. And I think Cade Cunningham is that guy to take him there. He's just had major injury issues, but I love his game. You're going to see probably a lot more Cade love from me over the years because I'm telling you right now, he is my favorite player younger than me. I mess with this dude. I was watching him with my dad even before my house burned down, and even my dad was like, yo, like, this dude's a real deal. Why haven't I watched him? And I'm like, Dad, we don't watch the Pistons. Like, that's why you haven't watched him. He's injured all the time. So it's amazing to see what he's doing, and he was too much for us. But I ultimately think, like, what really pissed me off, the non-Zubats minutes at the end of the third quarter were bad, but we fought back. We had a chance, and then first time complaining about him, Bogdan Bogdanović got every clean look in the world and could not make a three. And I was like, Ty, please take him out. If he's not a best defender in the world, he's not making his open threes, take him out. Put in Derrick Jones Jr., put in Nicholas Batum. You know what I'm saying? And here he persists with Bogey because I get it. He wants the spacing. Nico Batum was shooting well, and he's a better defender. I don't know what it is with Ty and Nico this year. I know he's old, but he got like 8 minutes the other night. He got 22 minutes tonight. Is he capped at 22 minutes? I'm looking at his game log. Like, he played 8 minutes yesterday, 11 against Milwaukee, 13 against Memphis, 5 against Utah. This is all in the month of February, by the way. 12 in the Indiana loss at Intuit, 15 against the Lakers at the loss at Intuit, and 28 at Toronto. That was the most minutes he played. And he had 11 points, his highest of the month. Go figure. I don't understand. I know he's 36 years old, but this is a guy that we saw play at the Olympics and had like a major role. You're telling me he can't play an extra 3-4 minutes? I mean, what the hell is going on? Because when Nico was playing, he was doing great things. He's shooting the ball well. He defends 1 through 5. He taps out offensive rebounds to us. He's super versatile. He moves the ball quickly. The worst thing he will do is miss open threes and not shoot open threes sometimes and pass too much. I think that's better than what you get with, by the way, like Chris Dunn at the end of the game, like I love him. He was amazing defensively tonight. Like he was all over Cade and he was deflecting the ball and getting super physical, but we generated a lot of good looks. And James Harden did not have a great shooting night. And again, the possessions that he missed shots were brutal to watch. A lot of dribbling, everyone standing around. It's not easy to win this way. It's not. And it's not easy to make shots. But bogey rhythm is not an excuse for him because he got shot after shot and he missed. You know what I'm saying? I just don't agree with Ty's persistence with bogey. But I also think this is typical of Ty because he prioritizes offense. And to be fair, our shooting was dog shit. You know what our three-point shooting was in this game? But the crazy part is bogey's a big part of it. We were 11 for 41, 27%. The Pistons weren't that much better, 31%, 9 for 29. But you know how many were bogey? 1 for 12. Between he and Harden, they were 4 for 23. Throw Chris Dunn in there, 5 for 29. That's 3 different starters. Nicholas Batum shot well, 3 for 5 from 3. Patty Mills shot well, 2 for 4 from 3. And he really only played in the first half. And then that was it. Derrick Jones Jr. only shot 1 3, and I was fine with that. But I guess maybe that's part of why. And he has not been shooting well. I understand. But he was actually having a pretty good game. He was scoring. He had some good defensive plays. I will say, though, like there were some times where, and it's been happening recently, where it feels like Derek's playing good defense, but guys just make shots over him. And I think that's a product of the fact that we're realizing, like, yo, he's still just 6'6". Like, he's not 6'7", 6'8". He just looks it because his arms are long. But like Tobias Harris shot a turnaround over him, and it looked like a tough shot, but we know Toby can do that against mismatches. I wouldn't say Derek's a mismatch at all, but it's weird that Derek, but you got to see like Tobias is a little bigger than him. But yeah, when you look at the month of February, Derek Jones Jr. is only shooting 28% from three. And in January, 35% from three, and December, 28%. So he's really riding off of those first 21 games, where in the month of October, he shot 50% from three, and in the month of November, 39% from three. That being said, though, I mean, if Bogey's bricking, I think we should go with Derek or Nico. I thought that was a big mistake, and we ended up losing the game. And I'm not blaming it fully on Bogey. Harden wasn't good enough. I mean, 5 for 22 and 3 for 11 from three and 5 for 8 from the foul line. At the very least, you could make 7 of your 8 free throws because that's what you do. He had 18 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 7 turnovers. He was dog shit. But again, here's why I'm not going to get super harsh on Harden. While I can't stand watching him play basketball and never have for a minute as he's been a Clipper, because it doesn't fucking change how he plays, regardless of what people think. He played the same. He just does less of what he used to do. He's less capable. You know, he's trying tonight. But the reason why I can't get too mad at him is because he's available and he's given us more than we could have asked for what he needs to do to get us to the whatever stage, the playoffs, the plan. This is where my takeaway at the end of this game was, yeah, Bogey missed some shots. Ty could have done some things differently. But why are we always in this position? Why are we always asking so much of these role players? Because the biggest flaw with our team is still the same every fucking year. Our highest earning player is the biggest disappointment on the team for no fault of his own per se, but he is. And now, year after year has gone by, everyone around the league, when they see Kawhi Leonard, they don't take it seriously anymore. They're like, he doesn't play basketball. That's, that he's chronically hurt. That's the vibe around the league. So this team, I think you're just starting to see, this is what we are. We were always going to decline a little bit. We're going to run out of gas at some point. We're not a super young team. We're getting carried offensively by a 35-year-old. And look, Kevin Porter Jr. for the regular season was good. The reason why we got rid of him, in my opinion, is because we thought that maybe his game doesn't translate to the playoffs with the assumption that we're going to make it. But because now we have Kawhi back. So now it's like, oh, we got another mouth to feed in terms of isolation. But in the games that Kawhi doesn't play, you kind of miss a Kevin Porter Jr. But Bogey should be better than him, but he's not playing like that. And the thing is, if you look at his splits, he wasn't playing better than this before the trade. So we took a gamble with that. I don't know if he's going to return to his old self. He shoots bad shots. He takes a lot of terrible shots, but he also missed a lot of good shots. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to win that Terrence Mann trade. I doubt we are because Terrence is younger, and I feel like he's just a better player at this stage. If Bogey can return to what he was last year, then he's not a better player than him. But if this is the Bogey we're getting that's inefficient, he's going to have some glimpses of shot making, then Terrence is better than him. But I don't know. The biggest problem is like the Kawhi thing. And if he's out for an extended period, like I don't really know what to say. All I'll say is this, and I'm going to be very, very candid. My house burned down. I don't give a fuck about the Clippers winning or losing right now. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. It's obviously great if we win, but like the disappointment level, like, dude, we have James Harden and Kawhi Leonard running my franchise. I could not be more miserable when it comes to that aspect. I just do this because I have 77 people listening right now, and a couple more thousand are going to listen on Locked On Clippers because they relate to one thing, that I love this fucking franchise and I'm never going to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to support the team. I'm always going to be there rooting on the guys who wear the uniform, whether I like them or not. But the fact of the matter is that if you are somebody that cares and does still have that, the mood I have is dictated by our wins and losses, I feel bad because you deserve better than this. Clipper fans deserve much better than this. And the problem is there's no end in sight because Kawhi Leonard, yes, has put us in no, and you can say Lawrence Frank, I mean, they have attributed to this, the front office. We have nowhere to go. We can't get out of this. Who wants Kawhi Leonard? Who wants him? We don't have draft capital. We traded Terrence Mann, and we got Bogey for him and a couple second-round picks. Zubats would probably be, and Norman Powell, most valuable assets. I mean, I don't think our young players are worth much. We're not in a very good spot, and we knew this. The only thing we have to play for this season, guys, is if we can host a playoff game at Intuit. That's the goal. If we can host a playoff game at Intuit, that would be a win. But yeah, if you're talking about where we were 5 years ago when we got Kawhi Leonard, hoping we'd see a championship, and where we were last year at this point, where we were starting to, hit our skid, but we had shown signs of like we are a contender, we are on the decline. And I don't know if it's going to get better because the thing is, though, I will say this in terms of winning and losing, it's not going to get better, but that doesn't mean it's not better for the fans and for the long term. I just don't know because I'm not in the room. Like, are the Clippers organization trying to move off Kawhi? Are they fielding calls on him? Like, because there's nothing. I'm not going to, like, what am I supposed to fucking say, guys? I told you we're going to be doing this again every year with this guy. We have been, I feel like my team has been taken from me by this guy. Like, seriously. And he doesn't say anything. And it's like, he just gets whatever he wants. Like, I'm not saying it's his fault that he's hurt, but we knew his injury history and we paid him. It honestly would have been better letting him walk because he wouldn't have been as financially strapped. Let Harden carry the team to a play-in team this year. Then next year we'll figure it out. It's like he's just holding us down. He's taking away $50 million in salary every year. I'm so tired of it. And I've waited till game 50 something to say this again because I don't feel like I can say it every time we lose without him. The fact of the matter is this group of players, Zoo, Harden, Chris Dunn, Derek Jones, Amir Coffey, all these guys that have worked so hard to get us to this point this season, they deserve better than this. They deserve a lot better than this. Norman Powell, they're fucking working hard. And they're a team that, I take pride in that they take pride defensively every night. It's been really great. But what team can succeed this way? Even if he comes back next game, he has to now recover from this little injury. We've got 20 games left. 25 games left. How many of those is he going to play? Will he even get to the Kawhi Leonard that we know and remember? This is not an overreaction. It's not an overreaction because we're playing the Lakers twice, and I'm going to get to them later, very soon. This is not easy. Our schedule is not easy. And I can't wait to go home back to Intuit Dome and hear the fans' thoughts about what's going on right now and how they're feeling because we're getting to that point now where we're almost to the playoffs. And if we're in the play-in and we lose in the play-in, I hope this was fun. Waiting another year of mediocrity, of if Kawhi is healthy, this and that's going to happen, to watch a James Harden-led team at 35 make the play-in and lose, and the biggest thing, you want to fill seats in the new arena. We're dead last in the league in attendance. So you're not even getting that. Let's talk about the game more specifically. Zubac was guarding Jalen Duren. Chris Dunn was guarding Cade. James Harden was guarding Tobias. Batum on Asar Thompson and Bogdanovich on Tim Hardaway Jr. Zoo and Drew Eubanks were in drop coverage. Duren was starting to blitz James, and that was leading to a couple of Zubac's push shots and open threes. I thought we were really active on defense throughout the game, mainly in the first half, though. And then finally in the third quarter, they started calling fouls. But in the first half, they were letting both teams play a lot. And I thought that was an enjoyable viewing experience. And it was a really the game was, and by the way, Ben Simmons didn't play tonight either. But it was a really not the easiest game to score. Like it was more old school looking. And a lot of it's because, the offenses weren't great either. But I liked how both teams were competing super hard, and the Pistons broadcast was very complimentary of us. We went on a 7-0 run in the first quarter, and it was led by James Harden and Victor Zubac. I thought Nico Batum did a little bit of everything, knocking down open shots, tipping out offensive rebounds, playing good D. So without Ben Simmons, we had Patty Mills play a little bit. And when James Harden and Zoo came out of the game at the same time, I was a little nervous, and Patty Mills hit 2 threes in a row. So that was nice to see Patty Mills hit some threes as a member of the Clippers. But we went on a 4-minute scoring drought, and it just was kind of like, how are we going to create shots without Harden and Zoo or without one of them in the game? It really puts all the onus on one of them to create. We were down 23-17 after the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, we outscored the Pistons 32-28 to go into halftime, only down by 2. I thought we had them exactly where we wanted them at halftime just because the game was so slow. And we don't want the Pistons, who are younger and more athletic than us, to get out and run. We want it to be half court. I thought Derrick Jones Jr., his defense was awesome in terms of faking and recovering one pass away. He's so good at that. He's so athletic, so he'll always get a deflection. And he was doing a really good job attacking closeout, finishing on the break. And that baseline cut that James Harden throws him his lobs has just been poetry in motion all season long. It's been great with Derrick. I just think there were some tough shots made over him. Chris Dunn's defense was amazing. I already mentioned that as well. Zubats, I thought, was great finishing around the rim and defensively protecting the rim. But Cade, I mean, he was just so special, man. So crafty. He's not even the fastest in the world, but he's big. I remember watching him. I have a vlog. It was like Cade Cunningham contained. It was like a Saturday afternoon game in 2022 in his rookie year, and I was so unimpressed. But I could tell he was getting to his spots, but he wasn't making shots. But now you're starting to see the shot making coming in. It's like he's got a lot in his game. Now, third quarter, this is when it went pretty bad for us. We were outscored 34-26. A lot of it, we could not play defense without fouling. Cade was destroying us. He was getting in the paint, throwing lobs, knocking down shots, hitting tough ones. They went on a 10-1 run. I thought when Zubats came out, that's when it got even tougher. I mean, Drew Eubanks, I've already talked about him. I don't think that he is a player that is capable of getting real minutes in a, rotation of a good team. Derrick Jones Jr. had on a more positive note, Derrick Jones Jr. had, I think, 10 points in the third quarter, and a lot of it was in transition and just doing the little things. But we were down by 3 points. Let me see when Drew Eubanks came in. This was relevant. Where is this fucking sub, man? What? Oh, is it because we went small? When did Zubats come out? I'm looking at these stats in the third quarter. I don't see anything. Oh, there we go. 5:05. Tie game when Zoo comes out of the game. Tie game at 66. And then we're down by 10 by the end of the third. And the funny part was it was 78-75 with a minute 16 left in the third. And then Drew Eubanks turned the ball over. It led to a Tobias dunk. Patty Mills missed a 3. And then Tobias made another 3. So we were down by 10 going into the fourth. And again, that's when I said we made our push. By the way, I thought Isaiah Stewart was very physical with Zubats in the post. And I like that we played through him more, but we still could have played through him even more. 11 shots. I mean, look, why can James Harden take every step back fucking 3 in the book? But if it's a Zubats misses 2 jump hooks and we just stop, we don't go to him. I just don't like that. 13, 15, and 5. So look, they were doubling. He had 5 assists. He had as many assists as James Harden Bogey. 13, 15, and 5, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers on 6 for 11 shooting, 1 for 3 from the foul line. I mean, he could have shot better from the foul line too. He and Harden missing a combined 5 free throws. What's that all about? But yeah, he should be getting more than 11 shots. Bogdanovich is shooting 8 more times than Zoo. Derrick Jones Jr. is shooting the same amount of times than Zoo in 14 less minutes. Like, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable at all. Coaching staff and Harden both need to take some accountability for that. I mean, that's annoying. And then Bogey, I mean, he got every 3 in the book, man. He got every 3 in the book. And you know what was really funny is that we made the big run when Cade came back in the game. He came back in the game. He missed a couple of shots. He was just fresh off the bench, and we scored a little bit. And then he turned the ball over. Chris Dunn got an interception at half court, and then we were right back in the game. But, Amir Coffey got an and 1. But Bogey, I mean, he got shot after shot, and he couldn't convert. So we lost it 106-97. We shot 40% from the field and 27 from 3, a putrid 63% from the foul line. They shot 46% from the field, 31 from 3, and 69% from the foul line. So they didn't shoot very well either. They shot 17 more free throws, though. And we shot 13 more shots, but you'll always rather get free throws. We also turned the ball over 17 times, which is not a recipe for success. They had 22 points off of those turnovers. So poor shooting game and turning the ball over. Our great defense was not enough to offset that. We lose our third straight. We are now, what, 1-3 on this road trip? Yeah, 1-3 on the road trip, 0-3 since the All-Star break. 31-26 on the season. The Pistons have a better record than us. I know they play in the East, but they're 6 games over 500. I'm so happy for them, honestly, and their fans. I'm really happy for them. Poor Orlando. They've been ravaged by so many injuries all season. Telling you, the door's still open for the Sixers and Paul George to get that 10 seed. We're still in 6th, though, thankfully. But Minnesota, the Mavericks, and the Warriors only have 1 more loss than us. So they are on our tails, and we're 4 games in the loss column back on the Rockets. Let's read the lines. For this one, for the Pistons, they went 9 deep. Ron Holland played the least amount of minutes with 13. He had 7 points and 2 boards on 2 for 3 shooting, 3 for 5 from the foul line. Isaiah Stewart, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. But I thought his defense on Zoo was really good. 1 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3 in 17 minutes. Dennis Schroeder was just broke, but he did make a good impact defensively. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, and 1 turnover on 1 for 6 shooting and 0 for 3 from deep and 5 for 8 from the foul line. So it was not a great shooting game for Schroeder. Neither was it for Malik Beasley, who was 3 for 10 and 3 for 8 from 3 with 9 points. Their starters all played 27 or more minutes. Asar Thompson, I want to make a mention about him. I really like the Thompson twins. And the one thing I really like about them is that they both, not only do they have this nuclear athleticism, like insane, but they really compete on defense every time I watch them. They're both really physical, and they have that desire on defense and that want to that's you can't really teach. You just have to have it, and they have it. So they got really good futures in the game. I just think they need to work on their jump shots. But Asar Thompson, he was locking up Harden like for stretches, like face guarding him, getting chest to chest. It was really, really impressive to see. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks to go along with 0 turnovers on 5 for 7 shooting. I thought he was really good. Tim Hardaway Jr., 6 points on 2 for 7 shooting and 0 for 5 from 3. Jalen Duren, 12 points, 19 rebounds. He's a hell of a rebounder. 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 2 turnovers on 4 for 9 shooting and 4 for 6 from the foul line. And then Tobias Harris, the former Clipper, 20 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. So he got 20 from Tobias. It's a good sign. 9 for 13 from the field, 2 for 3 from deep. Tobias just averaging 14 points a game, which is his lowest points per game since year 2 of his NBA career. So not great. And his 3-point percentage is awful, but I guess tonight, 2 for 3. So classic. And then the man, Cade Cunningham, 32 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 7 turnovers, though, on 9 for 22 shooting, 4 for 9 from 3, and 10 for 12 from the foul line. After watching them play and seeing that Jaden Ivey's hurt, I can totally tell why Cade Cunningham is one of the leaders in time of possession. But in terms of the Clippers, 9 deep, Patty Mills, 6 points on 2 for 4 shooting, with all those shots being threes. Drew Eubanks, 0 points, 2 rebounds, 0 for 2, minus 17 in 11 minutes. Minus 17 in 11 minutes. He's just not good for an NBA player. Then you've got Nico Batum, who started but played less minutes than Derrick Jones Jr. and Amir Coffey, who came off the bench. He had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, no turnovers on 3 for 5 shooting, and all his shots were threes. We were a +1 in his 22 minutes, and he only got 22 minutes. I have an issue with that, quite frankly. And then Derrick Jones Jr., 15 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals on just 1 turnover, 6 for 11 from the field, and 0 for 1 from 3, 3 for 5 from the foul line. My only criticism with Derrick is just, I would like to have had him be 80% from the line at least, but I thought he played pretty well. And then Amir, 10 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. Thought his defense was better. Got some buckets. I mean, that's typical output. 3-point shooting, again, on the road, not too great from him. 1 for 4 from 3, 3 for 8 from the field, 3 for 3 from the foul line. And then Bogey, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers on 6 for 19 shooting, 1 for 12 from 3. And then Chris Dunn, he had a really good game. Probably our best player. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals, 0 turnovers on 6 for 10 shooting, 1 for 4 from 3. So, I mean, it's a struggle there. Then I already mentioned Harden and Zoo, so that's that one. And the next game we have is against the Bulls on Wednesday. So we'll be live after that one. But now, before we shift gear to the Lakers, going to go to the comments real quick. All right, Lakers Nuggets. It's going to be a big one, guys. I'm excited to talk about this one, but let's look at the comments. Any super chats? Nope, no, doesn't seem like it. The day Kawhi retires from the NBA will be the greatest day of my life. Dude forced us to mortgage our future and homegrown MVP just to give us nothing. He doesn't even rep the franchise. I mean, who's been saying this for 2 years, guys? Ace Boogie, Kawhi needs to do the Clippers a favor and retire. As long as he's on the roster, they're not competing for anything. By the way, are you on Twitter, 4KT Karam? That's $50 million just hoarding when you can use those resources somewhere else. I agree. $50 million he never plays. Sixers lost 7 in a row. 2 by the Nets, 1 by the Bulls. I'm sorry, but the Sixers have 3 rings. No, 2 rings. So no sympathy. All right, talk your shit. Clipper fans come after Stephen A, but he said the truth out loud. Kawhi is the worst superstar to have on your team. This version of Kawhi, sure. Here we come, baby. Indy has a few clubs, but nothing that special. Huh? Well, Kyle's take saying we about to snatch the 6. He's talking about his Warriors there. Oh, remember, if you guys have a Twitter handle and I don't know it, please, say what your handle is so I can tag you when I post the thing. Hey, you say Indy has a few clubs and nothing that special. Ain't nothing in Indy. Nice. Just came from editing Showtime next video. Hey, Money Mona. Money Mona. What's up, Money Mona? Everybody go subscribe to his channel. Does great work. Clippers, Dodgers. My guy Dime. Cade and Paolo are one of the least talked about number 1 picks I've ever seen. Really? If a generational playmaker and Trae Young couldn't get Bogey going, nobody can. It's not just spacing. He's another ball handler. True. That's right. Did I not mention that? Dunn and Jones Jr. defense doesn't make up for their lack of offense. We literally always play 4-on-5 or even 3-on-5. Pistons comeback team of the year. DJJ and I understand, but he wasn't playing well though, Toby. Harden can't win with these cats. Harden's never won championships anywhere. So what are you talking about? Never did like Bogdanovich as a player. Winning this game was unlikely. Did SGA show signs of being a star? Of course he showed signs of being a star. I don't think he showed signs of being 30-plus points per game, but it was winnable. KPJ and Terrence Mann's greater than Simmons and Bogey. No one saw what he's become. At least you did the right thing not paying PG-13. No one saw MVP candidate. 16 games is way more than I thought Kawhi would play. Oh, my God. I've been saying the same thing. Harden's going to flame out again. I don't know. I don't make these decisions, King Cash. You're right. Kawhi killing y'all. Kawhi. Hey, man. Frankie Muniz. He doesn't even remember that he's a Clipper fan, I don't think. Time to trade him, says Certified. Spencer's had it. He says, Mr. Mute. He's had it. Bobby Bees, are you on Twitter? Are you the Mavericks fan? Y'all won't get shit certified. Kawhi for Embiid. Yeah. Kawhi was amazing in Toronto. Philly will trade for an aging over-the-hill max player like Kawhi. You're more likely going to be in the plan. Y'all got to lock down defense too. What did Harden do? Not play well. They're hoping he has a healthy playoff so they can move him. Real Clipper fans want to rebuild, but he won't do it. In corporate now, is he cooking Harden? Not really. I don't think I was cooking Harden. Oh, he's cooking Kawhi. Yeah. It's crazy how Luka just falls in the Lakers' hands. I know, right? That's the life of a Clipper fan. Mr. Mute says nothing. DJJ needs to start over Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn played really well, though. I'm not going to be mad at him. It's not his fault, though. Kawhi? I mean, not necessarily. But we as an organization knew what he was about, and we re-signed him and have put double down on him. Bro, but let me ask you this, Toby. What's his excuse for going to play Team USA? He can't even stay healthy for his employer, and he's going to play extra basketball. He had the intention of playing because he wants to live his dream of playing Team USA. I mean, he doesn't give – I don't think he – this is not a big deal to him that we don't win every year and this and that. I think he probably is he's disappointed about it, but he was going to go play for Team USA. It's not looking great for Kawhi. No reason for Chris to be starting. Really? It's terrific right now. My most favorite game was the Boston game. That's all let the youth play. Steve Ballmer thinks you can buy a title and not build guys up. James Harden is 35. Dang, time flying by. Hey, is that Merc Blue? Just cooling it. That's got to be Merc Blue. Merc says, yep, you're right, Dime. It's not an overreaction. The quiet experience has been downright terrible. Merc, I've been talking to you for 5 years, bro. Can you believe we're still doing this? Come on. Dead last in attendance. I don't know if we're even worse than Washington. Money is his advantage. What is James Harden's trade value? Well, he has a chance. He's a player option at the end of the year. Only guys I'll take to rebuild is SGA for the immense reach. What are you talking about, Spencer? We're going to win the playoffs, guys. James Harden has never missed the playoffs, guys. He's practically a good. Oh, I see what you're saying. Junebug. We have no real trade assets. We have to get as much as we can. Get Melo. He's worse than Harden. Dime. Is it time to move on from Kawhi? Bruh, where you been? I need this caffeine, man. I don't even drink soda like that. Do Clippers have all they picks? King Cash, bro. You been living under a rock? He's young and has a lot to play for. LaMelo, he's just injury prone, bro. Harden will probably end up in Washington. What's that supposed to mean? Harden, my guy, but he's on his end legs. What's up, Mr. E? Aren't you the Pistons fan, Mr. E? Melo back has no clue to play winning basketball. Playoffs shouldn't be a benchmark if you're still pushing a title narrative. I mean, that's fair. What's going on, B-Rad? B-Rad. Oh, you came just in time for your Lakers, buddy. You just came just in time. Ace Boogie's still here. You better not be leaving. Kawhi turns 34 this year. You don't get healthier as you age. I know. LaMelo is under contract for 4 more seasons after this one. He ain't going anywhere unless Charlotte trades him. If I'm Zoo, I'm telling the team, give me the fucking ball. Those 2020 Kawhi days are long gone, sad to say. We've been on 2020 was gone. Clippers have a 2030 first, a 2031 first, and a 2031 second. That's it. If there's anyone who knows 17 turnovers won't win you a game, it's me, a Pistons fan. That's a yeah, except for the Clippers. Hey, West Trueblood. What's going on, brother? You guys gave us the runaround yesterday. I'm tired of, hey, Verbal. I'm tired of the same shit with this team. We need to clean house starting at the top. I feel you. I don't know about Ty, though. So I think Ty would look a lot better if the players that front office is paying a lot of money are actually playing basketball. Because no coach is going to be flawless. Salute time. That is not a typical Malik Beasley game at all. Dude has been out of his mind. There's a reason Jerry was non-existent during this era after the trade. I know if Jerry did the trade, he wouldn't have given that much draft capital. I wasn't big on the trade. Bro, we got Kawhi, though. Like, I don't think they were thinking about the draft capital. Thompson twins are refreshing to watch for like defense and effort. Absolutely. I forgot about the 2025, 2027, and 2029 first-round pick protection swaps that are a bit convoluted. Norman Powell, sadly, should have had MVP chance to be an all-star. I don't know if he can replicate what he did this year. The wall doesn't chant anything for good play. Cade still needs to cut the turnovers down for sure. Fun fact, Tobias Harris is playing better than PG right now, and Tobias, when he was with Philly, still played better than PG. Ballmer's stubbornness when it comes to being bad will be the end of him. What's going on, brother? It says, Dime, what's up with Powell? I don't know, bro. Apparently, we've lost 8 of the last 9 games with Powell. Also, apparently, the Clippers have lost 8 out of their last 9 with Norman Powell out. So, tells you how much he means to the team. Yeah, bro. I hope he's okay. It's all Kawhi's fault. Ballmer is going to learn the hard way. You can't skip steps to being a title team. What seed do you think the Clippers end up with going into the playoffs? I said before the season we're going to be 9th seed. So, I guess I'll just not waver on it. That would be a bad drop, though. $50 million for 30 games this season if we're lucky. Kind of, bro. What's going on, buddy? Thanks so much. Love your passion. Keep it up. Camille, what's going on? This is the host of Locked On Bucks. Shout out to Camille. Go subscribe to Locked On Bucks. And she's from Wisconsin. We love supporting local content creators. I think she was on my video of previewing the Pacers series last year that led to their elimination. Do you think Kawhi can play at a level this season that'll spark a deep playoff run? Or are those days over? I don't think those days are over, Camille. I don't even think he can last a series. It's a joke. I don't know how we still have this guy. And I'm one of the only people that has a platform that's going to go out and say it. Everybody else is so protective of this guy. And that's part of why I cannot wait for him to be gone with his fuck ass stands too. I can't stand these idiots. Because you know what's going to be great is being able to talk to Clipper fans without Kawhi and Paul George on the team anymore. I've never been able to experience this as Dime Dropper. As Darian, I didn't know that many Clipper fans growing up. Now that we have this platform and everything, I can't wait. Imagine non-2-on-3 post game. Guys, my joy is going to come back. You're going to see a positive me for the first time in your fucking lives. It's going to be great. But I don't know when it's going to end. What's up, Dime? How you been, man? I'm Danny Chan. What's going on, brother? I'm living. That's good enough for me at this point. Kawhi can't do the same stuff he did before. He lost the extra muscle weight to relieve pressure on his knees. Wouldn't he being heavier be harder on his knees? We just shipped our youth away. Terrence Mann's 28, bro. So many people telling me, and maybe they're right, that the Warriors lucked out. Oh, maybe they're right. Trading for Paul George would have been the worst thing you could have ever done. Rip my Mavs tomorrow. Is that Lakers Mavs tomorrow, Colton? Shout out. Oh, Colton, man. I'm sorry for you, bro. I haven't talked to you since this all happened, but I'm so sorry, dude. I know what it's like to feel like the organization is just kind of doing bullshit that the fans don't give a damn about. Hey, Erod, what's going on, buddy? He says, sup, Dime. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Must have been difficult these last few months. Keep your head up, man. Dime Dropper that I know doesn't back out from a challenge. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Hopefully they give Kawhi another 4-year max. Appreciate your still doing videos, man. You're my only source of Clippers news. Thank you, man. How has Lawrence Frank managed to keep his job for this long? It's a great question because he brings a star to LA and they love it. And there's a honeymoon phase. You have to remind me of that Team USA fiasco. I had to apologize to Grant Hill. Literally, bro. What? You saw how damn bad All Ball is. I actually haven't watched Knicks games in a while, to be honest. I haven't even talked to All Ball in a minute. Yes, sir. Bobby Bees. Life as a Clippers fan is dreadful. My issue is Kawhi had to play for Toronto to get paid. Now he just wants his bag. He's got his rings. We're paying a guy that hasn't gone us to a conference title. I know, Spence. I agree with you. I'm the very depressed Mavs fan. You're not the only one. Norm out is killing us. Our offense sucks ass this year, especially with Kawhi and his bullshit. You're right, Alex. Norman huge for this team. A lot of guys are hyping the Lakers so much, even the non-fan base. I don't think we win the chip this season. Wow, you guys, Laker fans, you're in the building? It's exciting now. What up, bro? As a Lakers fan, I like your calculated prediction when it comes to the NBA. Are you guys ready, Laker fans? I think we're ready this time. I meant that I could see Harden getting shipped to Washington to play his system. Oh, my God. I still think Harden wants to compete, though, to be honest with you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to Locked On Bucks, guys, and any other shows that Camille does. Link them in the comments. Who are the contenders in your opinion? I'm telling you right now, sorry to burst everybody's bubble. The champion is going to be one of these three teams. Boston, OKC, or Cleveland. I don't see Cleveland winning, though. I just think they've never been deep in the playoffs before to win the first year. And we've never seen a team in NBA history that won the championship. History. That four best players were not a wing player. Their four best players are not a wing player. That's very rare. So we'll see. What are your expectations for Revenge Simmons? By the way, I'm not totally counting Denver out, but I don't see them winning. What are your expectations? That he's like a decent role player. Clipper fans usually get on my nerves trying to troll me as a Lakers fan, but you're a real one, bro. Thank you. The Luka trade kind of proves Draymond's point about how organizations are often never held accountable when it comes to loyalty. Well, I think we all can agree that the Mavericks are a joke for this. Dime, where do we go from here? Spencer, I have no clue, bro. It starts with getting Kawhi off the team. I just don't know how. It really starts with that. We ready? Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm sorry, but Kawhi being hurt is just unfortunate, but I can't stand people acting like he doesn't want to be out there. Let me just say this, bro. I'm not saying he doesn't want to be out there, but there are some very, very suspect stories in 2023 of him not being as urgent as you guys act like he is when it comes to when he's healthy. I still have not heard a good explanation for the Memphis game and that New Orleans game. Until I get one from a person with sources, because the people that told me that are people in-house that told me that he left. Until I hear otherwise, there is no sympathy for him. He also went to Team USA, even though he hasn't finished the playoffs in 3 years. Does that show how much he cares about the franchise? Because if he really did, he'd say, fuck no, I can't play and jeopardize any chance because I want to win a championship, but he's already got 2 rings. So why does it matter? Why does it matter for him to win a championship that bad? He's going to kill himself to do it. He wants to play with his kids. And right now he might not even physically be able to play, but he's still making 50 M's, guys. It's like, I'm supposed to feel terrible for this guy because his knees are a little jacked up. Like, bro, he's lived. I mean, okay, I do feel bad for him in one aspect that has nothing to do with basketball, and everybody knows what that is. So I'm not going to go any further with that. I do feel sorry for him because nobody deserves to go through what he went through as a kid, and that's totally separate from all this. But, like, who is more desperate to win a ring? Someone like Luka or Ant-Man or Tatum or SGA or Kawhi? He's already won. I'm not questioning his competitiveness, but I just think that he's too banged up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think he doesn't care, but I don't think he's like, oh man, I need to win a championship for the Clippers so bad. Like, I felt that from Chris Paul when he was here. I felt that from him. I didn't feel it from Paul George because he would say it, but then his actions wouldn't back it up. I could never question CP3's effort for this team, ever. So let's talk about the Lakers already, all right? Because I have a lot of good basketball analysis to get to. All right. So the Lakers. This was big. Going into this game, the Lakers had lost. Hold on, I got to change my font color. The Lakers were 1-13 against the Nuggets, including the last 2 playoff series in the last 14 games against them. 1-13 with that one win being game 4 of last year's playoffs. They have struggled against them immensely. It's honestly making the Clippers' old struggles against them look minuscule, right? So this was an interesting test. Luka Doncic's 3rd game as a Laker. No, his 4th game as a Laker. He was 1-2, right? And I have to say, and the Nuggets have won 9 straight games going into this, 13-1 in the last 14. But I have to say, even though I'm a hater, and I am one, I got to give JJ and his staff a lot of credit. That was one of the best defensive performances against Jokic I've ever seen. Let's break it down. It starts with what we've seen in the past, particularly in game 2 of the 2023 Western Conference Finals, which is put a stockier forward on Joker to try to get underneath him and then bring a double and then just make somebody else beat you and rotate. Just make somebody else beat you. And at times, you've seen teams get crushed by letting others beat them. But that was when they had KCP, they had Bruce Brown. They don't have the same options anymore, and they don't shoot the same anymore. You've got Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook out there together. That's not a great combination for shooting the ball. There was one time where MPJ was in the dunker spot and Aaron Gordon was at the three-point line. I did not understand that spacing. But what made it so impressive to me was how hard the Lakers were making it for them to get Jokic the ball in the first place. If your best player doesn't touch the ball, then it's harder for him to affect the game. Common sense. And you know how it started? The second Jokic would cross half court, Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, or Jared Vanderbilt were chest to chest with him, not even letting him breathe. And he picked up a couple of offensive fouls against Vanderbilt in the first quarter. And whenever he did get the ball, he was swarmed immediately. And as we know, JJ is going to want to go small. So when I heard, oh my God, the Lakers beat the Nuggets by 20 without AD, how did they stop Jokic? I look at the box score on ESPN and I see how few shots Joker actually took. So I'm like, I know exactly what they did. JJ went small. They likely doubled and just used speed and size to rotate. And that's exactly what happened. But you got to give Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jared Vanderbilt and LeBron James a lot of credit. But honestly, I want to, in terms of the defense, it's hard for me to pick one person that stood out because it was such a team scheme. Like, they were fronting the post and, of course, had a guy behind like a Jokic sandwich and left three-point shooters open to make them beat him, to basically double and triple team him without the ball. So they would essentially front the post, have someone on the backside, and if Westbrook had the ball or Gordon had the ball, sagging off to try to prevent the entry, you essentially have 3 guys around him. So it comes down to everybody else making shots. And for a while they were, but I don't know. You know what this game felt like to me? The Lakers may have had 2 of the top 3 players in the series against the Nuggets the last 2 years, but that's not how the games went down, because Murray would always do something at the end of games to finish them. But this felt like, okay, the Nuggets might have the best player, but the second best player is not as far behind as he was with AD. And not only that, LeBron is your clear second option now. And Jamal Murray, how much better is he playing than Austin Reeves this season? I mean, I know since my house burned down, I know Jamal Murray's been heating up because he was struggling a lot to start the year, but Austin Reeves has played really well. So while Murray is better than him, the top 3 players in the series, there's a big gap before Murray, or in this matchup, and the Lakers have 2 of those 3. And Luka was finally looking like Luka, aggressive, creating great shots in pick and roll, hitting threes. And I thought one thing that was somewhat impressive when it comes to the Lakers was this small lineup. Like, when they don't play with a center, it's going to add to their transition game a lot. And the way LeBron's been running the floor, I mean, I don't understand like how this guy is moving like that, like at his age. It's kind of insane. I counted that he had 14 points in transition in the game. 7 points of off-ball action. Catch and shoot 3, dive to the basket for a lob. I mean, he scored 25 points, and it didn't even feel like it was LeBron ball. Like, it felt like it was in the flow. And it just goes to show, like, he's never quite played with someone like this, like a spitting image of himself in terms of offensive creation. And now he does have that luxury. And I mean, I don't know if he'll score 25 points every game, but it felt very easy. It felt like he didn't even have to try super hard. It felt like he conserved his energy for defense, and then on offense, he could just play in the flow a little bit. And then I think would really turn the game around, because the thing is, I saw the final score, and I was like, man, the Lakers beat them up like that. Then I actually watched the game, and it was a 9-point game going into the fourth. And it felt like every time the Lakers were making big shots, because honestly, the Lakers' defensive game plan was so good in the first half. Like, they were doing such a good job on Joker that if they had just made their open threes, they would have been up by like a lot, because Luka had 16 points in the first quarter, and the Lakers' effort, like their effort, was super good. Good. I thought that Jordan Goodwin guy who was signed in February, we didn't really cover that signing because I was on hiatus, but he's playing really well. He's playing physical defense. He's diving for loose balls. He made an open three off a LeBron kick out. He had 5 straight points in that third quarter, or no, it was in the early fourth quarter. He was really good. So Rui was on Joker, Hayes was on AG, Luka was on Brown, Reeves on MPJ, and then LeBron on Jamal Murray. And that was also, so if they have LeBron on Murray, and then Murray and Jokic run their little pick and roll, LeBron can then switch on to Jokic. So it's kind of like, the coaching staff is thinking before that screen is set. So it comes down to Murray going against LeBron in isolation, which they didn't go to too much, because LeBron's actually still a pretty good defender in isolation because he's so strong. And I'll be honest, they let him get away with a lot of hand checking when LeBron's playing one-on-one defense. I don't know why. I think it's because he's LeBron. But like almost every time LeBron is sitting, and this goes back to even when he was young, in my opinion, except for like those years in Miami where he was like clamping Derrick Rose like that and doing a good job on Tony Parker. But like a lot of times, if you look at LeBron's good one-on-one defense moments, and this also applies to almost every NBA player now, but he's always using a lot of hands, a lot. But so Murray, and he's not the quickest. Like LeBron struggles more with quick guards. Murray can still get his shot off, but they didn't necessarily lean into that, because they're still going to try to lean into Jokic. So Jokic was struggling to get the ball. And in terms of defense, I thought the Lakers in the second half, they did a really good job of going at Jokic, going at him. And a lot of times Jokic is going to hedge on the screens, which means he's going to come to the ball. You're going to have an advantage on the backside. And with Luka, that gives you another guy that can see over the top of the defense and make plays. So it's going to be very take-turnsy. But I will say, LeBron being such an improved catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, it's going to make this transition easier than, say, if LeBron had done this with Luka in like a 2016 version of himself, if that makes sense. I think it really helps him in that regard, because he's able to just play off of him. And then Reeves, I think this is why when people said, will Reeves go to the bench? This is why he won't, because I think JJ really likes his ability to knock down open threes off of Luka and LeBron and then attack closeouts and make plays. So you essentially have like a big three. And Austin Reeves, I didn't know if he could be a third option on a championship team with AD and LeBron. But I always said the problem was AD is your best player. I don't know about that. And LeBron cannot be your best player at this age. Now you have a clear pecking order. Luka, number one option, one of the best players in the world. Is there a better second option in the NBA than LeBron James? Even at age 40, is there a better second option than him? Because I don't think so. Jaylen Brown, maybe? Is he better than LeBron James? I mean, in the playoffs last year, and if you put both ends together, last year I would take Jaylen Brown, playoffs and regular season, over LeBron. But I saw him, he's had some struggles this season. So I guess that's the best. That's my closest one I can think of is Jaylen Brown, I think. I mean, what about Evan Mobley? Nah, Evan Mobley better than LeBron. That's nonsense. Not yet. So, and then you got Reeves as your third option. It's pretty lethal. And I think the guy that stood out to me the most, though, was Rui Hachimura. That was his best game I've seen this season. I mean, his defense was amazing. His cutting was so good. Every single baseline cut when they fell asleep. By the way, MPJ's off-ball defense was horrific. Horrific. He was falling asleep left and right. But Rui, he was constantly diving. And when you dive, playing with LeBron and Luka, you're going to get some easy buckets. And he was making his open three. And he was playing that defense. I mean, it was amazing. 21 points, 4 assists, 7 for 12 shooting, 4 for 9 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. I mean, he was spectacular in 36 minutes. That's Rui Hachimura. And then Reeves, who caught fire in the second half with a couple of threes, a couple of big buckets in isolation. He had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, 2 turnovers on 7 for 13 shooting, 4 for 7 from 3, and 5 for 6 from the foul line. He was really good. The Lakers' effort was just fantastic. It really was. They were up 38-31 after the first quarter, outscored them 25-23 in the second. So they went to the half with a 9-point lead. And you know what's funny though? Like I did in the first half, though, I didn't think much of it because it's like we've seen the Lakers have great first halves against Denver. It's really that second half. By the way, the Lakers were even willing to switch Jackson Hayes on to Jamal Murray, especially when the Nuggets had Zeke Naji playing the 5, because there's no consequence. If Jackson Hayes can stay in front of Jamal Murray, there's no interior presence taking advantage of whoever is switched on to that center. And Zeke Naji is not really a center. So I thought the Lakers, as I mentioned, their defense to offense, their transition was really sharp when they did go small. A lot more of LeBron getting out and running. You saw that outlet pass early in the game by Luka. And the Lakers' double teams were really timely. They were really physical. Like they were really getting in Jokic's airspace. And Joker was throwing bad passes. And, there's two sides to every coin. Lakers' defense was amazing. Denver's offense, Jokic, he didn't play well. You know what I mean? Like there's two sides to it. But 12 first halves for turnovers for Denver, large part due to the Lakers' defense. LeBron and Luka had that nice lob link up at the end of the first half. And Luka hit that 3. He already had his Laker career high at halftime. But in the third quarter, the Nuggets went on an 8-0 run. But that's where I thought the Lakers did a great job at responding to every push. It felt like the Nuggets were going to just keep responding, but the Lakers kept having an answer. Hachimura, Reeves, Jordan Goodwin when he came in, Dorian Finney-Smith's defense. They responded with a 10-0 run. And I thought Russ, he made some open threes, but there were some lob passes he was trying to throw to Jokic over the top from straight away. And it's just a tough angle to throw that pass. It really is. So, yeah, I thought those were some reckless passes. This is where I knew the Lakers were going to pull away. The Nuggets started switching Joker onto Luka in the second half, and he forced Luka into a contested 3, and he missed. And I was like, oh, okay, if Luka's going to do that, then just keep switching it. And then for whatever reason, and I get the reason, it's because you don't trust Joker to guard Luka one-on-one, but he got to stop, and they started hard doubling. And the Lakers had 2 straight threes right when they did that. First, it was Reeves, and then it was Rui. So, yeah, they paid for it. I thought Gabe Vincent also in the second half did a really good job when he came in, playing competitive defense, making his open shot. One shot, 1 for 4 from 3. He was a plus 17, though, off the bench. But, yeah, Lakers hit 3 straight threes late in that third quarter. 2 of them from Austin Reeves. I thought Russ and Reeves were hooping both of them. But, yeah, the non-Jokic minutes in that fourth quarter were a disaster. Lakers were switching 1 through 5, and you're playing an isolation battle with Reeves, Luka, and LeBron. You don't want to do that. By the time Jokic came back in, it was basically over. The Lakers outscored them 27-13 in the fourth for their best win of the season, and, of course, their best win in the Luka era thus far, 123-100. What does this say to me about the Lakers as a contender? Was I wrong about their defense? I said their defense is not good enough to win a championship. I still stand by that, but it's probably better than I first gave them credit for because they can scheme. They want to play small. We know it. We know they want to play small. I think quicker guards might actually give this team more of a problem. But I think if Jokic were surrounded by better shooters, this would not be possible, But he's not. So it's interesting. I think the Lakers have a chance to go far. I just don't think this year is a championship year. But if they can get a top 3 seed, which they really seem like they could, then you just never know. They could make history. It's Luka and LeBron James. It's going to be take turnsy. But we'll see. And my boy Edwin, he posted a tweet. Pat Riley, Paul Westhead, Frank Vogel, and Bill Sharman, and Phil, all won chips as their rookie head coaches. Or not as rookie head coaches, is their first year as Lakers coach. Is JJ going to fall under that lineage? I honestly don't think if they lose, it's going to be JJ's fault. I think the roster just might not be good enough yet. But if he wins with this center rotation, my goodness, honestly, JJ could be in the historically great conversation for that as a coach. I honestly think he's got more potential as a coach than a player, even though he had a good career. But he's got a better chance of winning a title as a coach, and he'd have a bigger role in that than any role he would have had as a player. Actually, I can't say that. If you start on a championship team, you're always more important to me than the coach and I'm saying that as someone who coaches. Like, the players are always more important. But, he's doing a great job, and Say what you want about Darvin Ham. I think JJ is better than him, but Luka Doncic is the big difference. And in the playoffs, that's what will be noticeable. So I don't think the Lakers are going to win a championship this year, but I think they can go far, further than I probably just first gave them credit for, because it's the brilliance of those three and a solid staff. And Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, when they're all healthy, they got some size that could cause some issues. 123-100 is the final. The Lakers are 34-21 now, and they're over 500 away from home. And the Nuggets are 37-20, 20-9 at home. Let's read the lines for Denver, who shot 40% from the field to the Lakers 50. Both teams shot 39% from three, and it was exactly the same, 16 for 41 from deep. The Nuggets were 16 for 21 from the foul line. The Lakers were 21 for 25 from the foul line. Julian Strawther played 12 minutes, and he had 2 points on 1 for 4 shooting and 0 for 3 from deep. Peyton Watson is out with an injury. Zeke Naji played 14 minutes and did nothing. 0 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal on 0 for 1 shooting. They tried Hunter Tyson. He was attacked quickly. DeAndre Jordan played 4 minutes, didn't do anything. Westbrook was like their only good bench player. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 turnovers on 7 for 17 shooting and 3 for 7 from 3, which is good. He was a minus 15. And the lack of shooting, it does hurt, especially with Aaron Gordon out there already. For the starters, they all played 29 or more minutes. Christian Brown had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Had a really nice steal on Luka. 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from deep, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. Michael Porter Jr. was awful, in my opinion. Awful. Bad defense, wasn't making shots. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover on 5 for 14 shooting, and 1 for 4 from 3. Jamal Murray had 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists to go along with 2 steals and 5 turnovers on 6 for 13 shooting and 6 for 11 from 3. He was 0 for 2 from 2. I know the Lakers are packing the paint, but he's got to be better than that. Aaron Gordon had 24, 5, and 4. They were letting him shoot. He had a good shooting game, 9 for 15 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. The crazy part is the Nuggets didn't shoot that badly from 3, but everything felt difficult, and the Lakers threes did not. Have the Lakers conquered the Jokic matchup now that AD is gone? Maybe that was the key. Exploit Jokic's flaws with a 5-out set. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. It'd be interesting to see if the Lakers and the Nuggets played again in the playoffs, but I don't think that's going to happen in the first round. Jokic only got 7 shots off. I mean, that's an amazing testament to the game plan. 12 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 6 turnovers on 2 for 7 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3, and 8 for 10 from the foul line. The Nuggets turned the ball over 22 times, and the Lakers scored 39 points off of them. There's your game right there. 9 turnovers for the Lakers. They were very low turnover, and that's not normal for a team with Luka and LeBron James, who had a combined 2 turnovers between the two of them. That's huge. Lakers. Gabe Vincent, already mentioned him. He had 3 points in 19 minutes, but I thought his impact was really positive. And the plus-minus backs that up, plus 17. Dalton Connect played 9 minutes. He had 4 points. He was 1 for 3, 0 for 2 from 3, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line. Still not really producing like he was early in the season. Jordan Goodwin was really good. 5 points, 2 steals, and a block. No turnovers on 2 for 3 shooting and 1 for 2 from 3. Vando played 6 minutes, but he had 5 fouls, but he really was impactful to me in those 6 minutes. 2 assists, 2 steals. DFS, this is how you know you're a good role player. 3 points, 1 for 5, 1 for 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, plus 21 in 27 minutes. That's impact. Physicality, defense, denying Jokic the ball, all that. Starters all played 25 minutes or more, with Jackson Hayes obviously playing the least. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover on 2 for 3 shooting in 25 minutes. I'm going to say this about Jackson Hayes. While he is not getting the typical run of a starter, which honestly is debatable. 25 minutes is a starter minutes, but he's holding his own right now. And you got to give him credit for that because he's never had a role like this. And then you have Rui, who I already mentioned was amazing. 21 points on 7 for 12 shooting and 4 for 9 from 3. Austin Reeves, 23, 4, and 7 on 7 for 13 shooting, 4 for 7 from 3, and 5 for 6 on the foul line. LeBron, 25 points. Did a great job rebounding, by the way. 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, and just 1 turnover on 11 for 19 shooting, 1 for 4 from 3, and 2 for 3 from the foul line. I think he's been so good since the All-Star break. Honestly, since he turned 40, which is wild. Then my player of the game is going to have to be Luka. This is Luka, 32, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals. This was my favorite part. If you're a Laker fan watching this, I hated it obviously as a Clipper fan, but his defense was good and he was alert. He was really good off the ball, getting into the passing lanes, helping at good times. And if you get that kind of Luka consistently, you're getting a guy that could take a team to a title. But in the finals we saw last year, it was tough for him. So you got to make Luka guard on ball. 10, and I don't think the Nuggets did a good enough job of that. 10 for 22 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and 8 for 8 from the foul line. It's safe to say that was the best win of the season for the Lakers. Let's see how they do going forward. So it's tough. As a Clipper fan, it's like I'm living in a nightmare, but whatever. I've been doing that my whole life. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. Now to the live subscribers waiting patiently in the chat. Hope you enjoyed the show.